you're a kid, you want to be a rapper. You get through high school, you're like, fuck this, maybe it's not for me. You start to get a little bit of momentum. You're now going into fucking Cameron Studio, fucking, fucking laying down some tracks. And then all of a sudden, fucking life just hits pause on all your fucking plans.
Yeah.
What the fuck did that feel like?
No, it sucked, but it was like something that I knew. Like, I feel like jail was the best thing that ever happened to me. Because even before I went to jail, I feel like I was like real shy. Because like we would go to like, music shit and stuff like that. And like my homie B-Mo, he always tell me like, yo, if you don't talk, if you don't tell people, let people know what's up, man. Like you ain't gonna never really get into a situation. You got to start talking to people. But for jail, I didn't have that part of me. I was kind of like quiet, to be honest. And I think it had a lot to do with the fact that I had fucked up teeth. I think that would play a part in someone's self-esteem.
For sure.
Because there's been a lot of times where I see a cute girl or some shit and be like, yo, I can see she feeling me and shit. As soon as I say something, she be like, damn, the fuck happened to you, So that would play a part of somebody's self-esteem. So I think I was really just quiet because I was always silly and a jokey person and shit, but you have to know me to get that out of me.
Yeah.
So I think I had a lot of self-esteem issues because of my teeth.
Well, you don't have bad teeth now. Did you get them fixed?
Yeah. Shit, spent like damn near $30,000 in my damn teeth. But so he always tell me like you didn't talk. So being in jail, your ass gotta talk.
Yeah.
You don't talk, your ass you ain't gonna get no honey buns. So I started to talk. So after I got out of jail, I was a different person from going through that experience. So, and then just from being in there, just writing all the fucking time, getting my shit sharp. But it was like a scary thing of like, losing all my New York connections kind of.
Yeah.
Like that.
I mean, did you have when you went in, you knew you'd be out in a year, or what? What was the?
They gave me a year.
Yeah, and so you're just sort of like sitting there, just fucking counting the days, writing.
Actually, yeah, I was having fun in that motherfucker, to be honest.
Really?
How was it in there? I'm curious.
I mean, once you like in the county, they put you on trustee. So I was on trustee and shit, and I ended up getting like one of the best jobs in there, which was like which was working in registry. That's when the inmates come to get registered. So you dealing with people that's off the street or they going to court.
Oh, okay, so you're like working a job in there.
Yeah, it's only like a 2-man job kind of shit. So like you the person that when you go to the county, I'm the dude that pass you the sandwiches and shit like that.
So everybody loves you.
No, they hate your ass.
Oh, really?
Because they want to get extra mustards and shit.
Oh,
and the COs and shit tell you, don't get nobody no extra shit or you're going to lose your job. So you always telling them like, yo, I can't do it. And they like, fuck you, old police ass nigga. You over here. You know what I'm saying? So you got to always would get to like the biggest inmate down there to fucking like be my bodyguard and shit. So I would do that.
And then you give him the extra mustard.
Because what happened is the people that come in off the street, they coming in with shit off the street. So they might have weed. They might got cigarettes. All the police do is throw it in the garbage. I'm the one that take the garbage out. So I would go through the garbage all the time, finding packs of cigarettes. So I got all the cigarettes. So usually the person that worked that job would sell all that shit.
Okay.
But me, I'm like, fuck that. I'm smoking all this. So I wasn't selling shit. Yeah.
That's crazy. Okay, so you do a year.
Oh, so this is another part of that. So while I'm in jail in a year, working registry, I'm talking to the COs all the time. I'm more friends with the COs than I am with actual inmates because we work on different times. I'm usually going to work at like 4 a.m, and I don't get off work till like maybe 4 p.m. So and then from the time I'm 4 p.m, I'm asleep. So I'm not even really dealing with the inmates like that. I'm dealing more with the COs. And one of the CO was a rapper. So he went on his hip hop site, where they, people submit their music and play their music. And he went on a site called Hip Hop Havoc. Well, I mean, they sift through and post the best shit. It wasn't like you can just upload anything you wanted. So he went on this site called Hip Hop Havoc, and one of my songs was on there.
Damn.
And that shit had like mad fucking plays and shit. And I'm like, what the fuck? And I'm like, I told you I was a rapper.
And so now this dude likes you.
Yeah. I mean, he liked me anyway. He always knew. He kind of knew we had the same kind of similar hip hop taste. Because even that day when we did that, he had came and got me on the weekend. Was like, you want to come down and get on the internet with me on the weekends? I'm like, hell yeah, come get me. So that was like a thing. He was looking out so I could just keep up with what was going on in music and shit like that. Yeah. And we seen one of my songs on there. So but what it was that my brother was on the outside. He was the one uploading my shit on these sites. So when I was in jail and from seeing that, man, I knew, how the internet worked and shit. I was always online and shit. So I was like, oh, that's what I got to do when I get out. Yeah. That's what it's changing to. Yeah. It ain't about passing out mixtapes on the corner. Because it had a lot of plays. And it was a song called Mean Mean Cry. It's still online and shit all around and shit. It's a good song too.
Okay. I'm gonna check that one out after this.
I love that when I said something to the effect of like, man, you're in jail, that fucking sucks. And the first thing you say is, nah, it's one of the best things that happened to me. And that is a common thread that I notice when we sit down with people who are, you know, absolutely crushing the fucking game, typically the worst things that have happened to them, or the things that the outsiders would think, like, fuck, I gotta go to jail for a year, that's fucking terrible. I think the mindset of being able to actually not blame the world, not fucking, you know, be a pessimist, but to actually say, you know what, this bad thing happened, but it helped me become the man, you know, that I am today.
Yeah.
And therefore I'm very grateful for this opportunity.
Yeah.
So I think it's actually very, very, I mean, I think it takes a lot to actually be able to say something like that. But I think that probably speaks to a lot of how you've actually been able to find success, is to look at those things that happen and go, yeah, fuck it, I'm just going to keep going forward. Yeah. And I'm actually going to, and like the video games, it's a hard fucking level.
Yeah.
But once you hate it while you're there, but once you beat that level, if you try to play it again, it's fucking easy. You know what I mean? Because you get those things.
And you acquired skills from that level. You know, each level had to be done.
I think it totally rewired my personality for me to be able to maneuver through the music industry the way I have.
So speaking of, so you do your year, and by the time you get out, you got songs already on the internet. Like, were you able to just get right back in with those guys from New York?
Yeah, I did. I went out there but I was starting to change musically. Even before I went to jail, I was starting to change musically with what they were doing and just with, you know, because they were like, you know, mainstream music industry. Like when I first went out there, I sounded country to them. Okay. And I was from the Midwest. So they were you should be like Nelly, more like a Nelly type rapper. They was like, your name should just be Danny. You know, I'm like, Danny, it can't just be fucking Danny.
Danny.
Yeah, you know, so they were so they didn't even know. And then before I went to jail, I was getting more into like the Detroit sound of shit, like Jay Dilla and Black Milk and that whole shit, and listening to more like experimental hip hop, like Def Chucks, and even getting more into like UK grime and Dizzy Rascal and stuff. So that was happening, you know, like before I went to jail and shit. So I already knew I wanted to take a different path musically. So when I went out there the first couple times, I was like, yeah, it's cool, but I'm gonna do my own thing. So I went back to, and then also it would be a common theme where they would like reach out to people and be like, you ever heard of this Danny Brown guy from Detroit? You know, and they'd be like, I ain't never heard no Danny Brown, like from other people from Detroit. So I was like, damn, I gotta kind of make a name known in my city before I can even take it out. And being from Detroit, it's a, you know, tough scene. So once you respect it in that world, you respect it everywhere else. So I made it a mission to go back home and be like, yo, I'm gonna get cracking at the crib.
That's what's up.
Mm-hmm. And what did you do there? You just started playing a lot of live shows?
I was just like you know, it was like open mics and shit that was around in my area and shit. And I would just go to the open mics all the fucking time and just start rapping. And just from that started just, you know, developing relationships with people that was, you know, cracking in the scene and shit like that. Start doing music with other people.
With like open mics, is that more like, I don't know much about it. Is it more like battling? Or
no,
is it like...
if they would have battles every blue moon, I never fucked with the battles and shit.
Mm-hmm.
But no, it was pretty much, you know, shout out DJ House Shoes. House Shoes is like a Detroit legend. So House Shoes, you know, you want to go where House Shoes is playing at. Okay. You know, that's the cracking open mic. You know, all right. So, and you put your name on the list, and based on your skill level and how known you are, they're gonna call you early in the night.
Okay.
You know, so if you get called first, don't nobody know who the fuck you are.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. But then there's also another thing too, is like House Shoes the one that give you the beats. He's spinning the shit. So he gonna get a dope motherfuckers, the dope new shit. You know what I'm saying? So if you don't know you, he gonna throw you a curveball. He gonna throw you some bullshit. Or some shit that he know that's hard to rap to, kinda, you know, just to test you out and shit.
Yeah.
So in the beginning I would go and I would fucking get caught early. And that's when, like, not too many people, that's like pretty much like a lot of the other MCs that, you know, and I would get caught early and I would fucking bomb, just fucking bomb. Because he'd throw me some crazy beats and he would just fucking bomb. So then I just got to the point, they were like every Wednesday. So every Thursday morning, I get to start writing on my fucking shit. Almost like some stand-up comic shit, I guess, you know?
Yeah.
So I would start writing my shit on Thursday and I would be like, I got to have different variations because I don't know what beat's coming. Mm-hmm. So I'll write some slow shit, some faster shit, some in the middle shit. And I would just like have these arsenal of raps just based on whatever he can fucking throw me. And just one night I got lucky and he threw me fucking Alchemist, Hold You Down.
Just lined up perfect.
And all three raps that I had went to it kind of. So I was able to spit like a fucking 3-minute verse. And after that I was called late every night.
Damn.
Wow.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
I passed the test.
Yeah.
That's so crazy to like that you're going to go on and you're going to write material. So it's not all just freestyling, but you have no idea what you're going to be rapping to.
No, yeah.